Hey, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night for some of you across the pond. Happy Sunday, everybody. I just want to do a little sound check, make sure that we're good. I just need a mod to let me know that we are live and that we are good to go. We've got a great panel. Hey, Adrian, I'm looking at the chat. I see all of you in here. Audio works, we're good, that's wonderful. And we've got at least one mod in here. We need more mods, pretty please. Just a little housekeeping that we start off with on this panel. Everyone here on this panel today is a friend of mine. They're either living homeless or have great experience in being an advocate for the homeless. There is zero tolerance policy in this panel for any disparaging commentary towards homelessness and or those living homeless. If you want to have productive dialogue in this chat, we welcome that. But you better make sure that it's productive and your questions are sincere in intent, or you will be booted from here. Zero tolerance. So that's my main housekeeping rule in this panel. We're doing these panels once a week on Sundays, and we want to talk about lived experience on particular topics in comparison from Denver, Colorado to Lawrence, Kansas. I've had the opportunity to get to know some folks in Lawrence, Kansas. Lawrence Accountability, Michael, who is not here right at the moment. I suspect he'll be popping in here. There were some issues out at their little local government-ran camp that he went to attend to this morning, but we should be hearing from Michael. But we have our regular panel participants, which is Jen Camp Mom and Jen Purple Hair up there. Jen is a social worker. Jen lives homeless in the sanctioned part of the camp, sometimes in the unsanctioned part of Little Lawrence. We'll hear more from them. We have Shelly. This came together so well at the last minute. Shelly just had her camper confiscated from the city and county of Denver, and they stuck her in a motel in Aurora. As far as location, the only location we're going to talk about is Aurora today. I'm going to ask my other women on this panel, Joey and Liz, who are also women living homeless. Please do not identify your location or personal information, please. We are public on the internet. People watch this. There are haters out there, as you all know. And the last thing that I ever want is for any of my friends out on the streets to become a target. So please, let's just be cognizant of not revealing location. So today's panel topic is homelessness a community issue? It is. It very much is. But the emphasis today is on lived experience versus how the government and how community members treat those that live homeless. This is a 2-hour discussion. It will last no longer than 2 hours. I'm very strict about that. So we will just take turns kind of going back and forth. And I want everybody to introduce themselves, give a little bit of your background and anything that you want to say. And I'm going to start with Jen. Jen, my two Jens from Lawrence, Kansas.
I'm Jen, Purple Hair. I am a master social worker. Been working in homelessness now, or homelessness work for between 6 to 7 years throughout different parts of the country. Started out in Kansas, have landed back in Kansas. I did work for the city of Lawrence between May 22 till January of 23. After I resigned from that position, I did help set up the support site that we will talk about as the city site now. Doesn't look the same by all means now than what it did when we started it. And I say we because Jen helped me. And ultimately I resigned because I saw the harmful impact that the city of Lawrence was doing to this population, and I wanted to have no part of it. So I resigned, but I still come out and do the work, just do it on my own dime. And this is Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm the camp mom from Lawrence, on the unsanctioned side.
How long have you been experiencing homelessness in Lawrence?
2 years, a little over 2 years. So,
And so Jen comes with us as lived experience, but she doesn't give herself enough credit. She is the camp mom. She did not identify herself at that. She was given that name because she definitely is the caretaker of the unsanctioned side, plus the city side still, because they are failing so miserably. But she is the one that everybody goes to get care, and she's the one checking on and making sure. Let's just be honest, okay? People are still alive. She's the one that's making sure people are living. So.
Yeah, we're in some interesting times. Shelley, you're next.
I'm Shelley Antone from Denver, Colorado. I'm
You want
homeless.
to tell us any more? I'm sorry, Shelley, go ahead.
And you know, it's hard being out here. It's not, and I'm like 62 years old. I'm handicapped. I'm just recovering from cancer, which is the best news I ever had. You know, so living out here is horrible, but yet there's people out here that, you know, that embrace us and wants to help us, but yet, you know, they, you know, the government just says no, 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 you can't do that. So I don't know.
A lot of barriers, huh, Shelley? And a
Yeah.
lot of situations that put you in flux, being in and out of the hospital, being chased down by the cops, saying you can't live here, you can't be here, you can't exist. Well, Shelley knows that I'm a fight like hell for her, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. I've only been in Colorado for almost 2 years. I came here from South Houston. Moved out of Texas because Texas got crazy. This is my 4th time being homeless, but first time being homeless here. I've only been homeless since last 9th of last month, so like the beginning of last month. My roommates kicked me out illegally, so I'm living in my car. I'm diagnosed schizophrenic, and I have a job and everything like that, but it's still fucked up here.
Liz is a part of our community of the working homeless, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure she stays in front of the 8 ball. This young lady has some incredible perseverance, probably some of the strongest I've ever met on the street, along with Joey. These 2 women, Joey, you're next. You go.
Hi, my name is Joey. I am currently housed, but it's not going to last. Difficult situation with the people who are sharing their residence with me. The owner is, well, he's not really in charge of it anymore, and yeah, it's going to change. So I have had an RV that somebody gifted to me in 2018, and that's my home. But unfortunately, I couldn't get it. Was like the carburetor died on it or something like that. I have to get a new one, but so it doesn't run. And so I racked up a bunch of parking tickets, and then at some point, this one officer decided to go on a crusade and make sure that he ticketed me every single day. And so they put a seizure notice on me, and I had to put it in storage, which I was very, very lucky to get it in storage before they did take it. Like there's a video that Regan's got of her saving me from getting towed, like down in Englewood. And there was another time, like about a week prior to that, the Denver almost got me. They just basically had it in for me, or like just everyone in RVs, but I think they had some special thing against me. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound paranoid, but it was yeah, it was getting pretty hairy. So I put my RV in storage, and then I was going to go live in a tent. My boyfriend said, no, you can come stay with me. And that's where I'm at now. But like I said, it's going to end soon. So I'm a little concerned about if I can get my motorhome running and legal before the bottom falls out. And, survive, because otherwise I'll be living in a tent. And I kind of suck at it. I thought I'd be pretty good at it, but I'm not. So, yeah, it's not that easy.
Joe, you're pretty darn good with survival skills. You know that. So I met Joey, excuse me, about 4 years ago during COVID. And she was in her RV, and her RV is super cool. You guys, it's a classic.
I'm spoiled with that thing.
It's her home, and she takes good care of it. And as far as community responses go, this is kind of where we're at. And this is a little bit different, my Jens, than what's going on in Lawrence, because this topic around these three women has to do with them trying to survive in the means that they have. We've got a vehicle, we have an RV, we have two RVs, two driving RVs. Shelly and Joey are in driving RVs, and Liz is currently in her vehicle. And there's a little bit of difference between Liz and Joey and Shelly in that Liz is still in a position where she's been able to work, pay for her papers, please, license, registration, insurance. These are the things that government has based the fact that people either have the right to live or they don't, based on papers, please. So this is a huge community discussion issue. And Jen, I want to go back to you because you have so many good insights and you're so articulate about it. So tell us about government, community, your thoughts on that.
Sure. So, I mean, we talk about homelessness is a community issue. And so therefore it's going to require community solutions. That's pretty cliche. We hear that. And even though it's cliche, there is some actual truth behind it. It's just trying to understand who the community is. Yes, we are one, but then identifying the different people within the community and giving them all a voice, but also reminding everyone that just because someone's unhoused doesn't mean that they don't have a voice and don't have the ability or need to be cared for. And so in Lawrence, we've been trying to identify who that community was. And unfortunately, what ended up happening was we've got the business leaders pitted against the neighborhoods pitted against the unhoused pitted against really everyone's pitted against each other. And if you follow it, who created that tension between all these groups is actually the city of Lawrence themselves. I mean, they pitted everybody against each other and then walked in and said, we, as of last January, said we're going to take on the responsibility of homelessness. So they said, we're going to be the saviors. We're going to come in and we're going to fix this for everyone. But what we've seen is that they're not doing anything. And so I think that identifying the different community, I say factions, so the different community folks, but then also recognizing how we all work together. And most importantly, we need to go to the unhoused and ask them, what do you need from us? And I say that every video. You will see me say that over and over again. But again, we need to go to them and we need to allow them to have not just an equal voice, but most importantly, they need to be leading with their voice about what it is they need from the community. And again, I'm interested to hear from all of you. We don't have the same RV and the cars, we have folks living in their cars and things like that. It's a little bit different in Lawrence with the response that we're seeing, but we are definitely seeing an increase with code enforcement, with the local cities coming into places saying, family members can't live in tents outside. They can't be in a shed. They can't be in this. So they're trying to micromanage what they consider to be safe on how someone lives. And ultimately they're pulling them from these locations and saying they have to go live at the city camp because that's what's sanctioned. But if you look at the city camp, that's a whole lot worse situation than where they were coming from. So I agree that the government needs to stop trying to control what someone's home is and stop trying to determine what's safe for them. We should allow people to have their own voice.
Liz,
Yeah.
what's your response to that?
I think that a lot of people are too scared to speak up for what they need. I think that they just get judged automatically by the cover of their book and the fact that they're homeless, and they don't even care to try to explain who they are because you already have your judgment of us. So why should I like sit there and over explain myself to you when you don't really care to begin with? So I feel like a lot of people just bite their tongue because they're just like, whatever, it's not going to help if I even say anything anyway.
Joey?
I'm not supposed to jump in, but I want to say, holy shit, that right there. Let's talk about that right there. Thank you,
Go for
Liz.
it, Jen.
I mean, I want to talk about Jen. So that's one thing we talk about, the unhoused and where do they fit into this community, right? And we talk about that all the time as advocates. Like, we are continually saying, hey, we want to open the door. We want to get your voice out there. We want to be able to get you in front of these folks who are the decision makers, right? And I say that because they're making shitty decisions, but they are deemed the decision makers, right? And a lot of times we hear that. Like, for instance, when I come out to you and I say, hey, I'm about to pick you up and we're going to go talk to this person, what are the things that go through your brain when seriously, go ahead. You can totally, no judgment.
Here lately, it's been, oh shit, one more person to ignore me, because that's generally what they do. I don't know. I keep speaking, hoping it'll do some good somewhere, but so far it just keeps falling on deaf ears.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, Joey,
There's so much to ask for that you don't even know where to start.
But for you, what I know about you, Joey, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if maybe your position has changed or not, but how about just leave me alone?
That's kind of,
right?
like I try to be mostly self-sustained, and I can mostly take care of myself, but sometimes you have to ask for help. And when you need the help, is there going to be someone there to help you? Is there even going to be anyone to ask? Or and if there is, are they going to be able to do anything about it? So Regan has been like, I mean, the guardian angel of like so many of us. That, I mean, I know, but it's true though. She really,
you have a right to survive. You have a right to survive, period.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's true, but it doesn't mean that there's going to be anyone there to help you when you need the help. But you have been there more than, I mean, way far and beyond like what anyone could hope for most of the time. And this channel that you have is like a big help too, because, it makes it well known to anyone who's interested, and that helps a lot. But
Shelley, we can't begin to go into detail how much help we have asked for you, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
Shelley is disabled. Shelley is battling some serious medical issues, and we cannot get any support. Tell us a little more, Shelley.
It seems like I put in application after application, and there's nothing out there. I keep getting denied for this or this or that. I got denied even going into a shelter because of insurance, their insurance policies, because they're afraid that I'll fall, or I'll wake up, or they would come and check on me and I'll be dead because of my cancer, which I think is ridiculous. I'm aware how everything is it doesn't, it's all politics. It all the shelters, everything is just politics, and it's getting to be totally bad for everybody, no matter if you are homeless or, or someone just on the streets just trying to find a place to live, because there's really no place to live because the rent's so high, or this or that, so
And
that's
if you're
where I came.
disabled,
It's nearly impossible.
Liz,
And
I know. Go ahead, finish, Shelley.
but the thing is, I was at a community where they helped me. They gave me food. They protected me. They even protected me from being towed away. But
And
then
you're
the cops.
talking about a week ago, this past Thursday, Shelley and I had lost contact. Denver PD District 4, which for those of you that follow my channel know, the things that have gone on in between District 3 and 4 in South Denver, they swooped in on her and literally showed up at 11 o'clock and told her, "Get out, we're taking this. It's a public nuisance." True story, you guys. A week ago this past Thursday, she's parked kind of in a residential neighborhood behind a great big old shopping center, and the community embraced her. And I want to get out there and go find some of these community members and thank them, because it's about damn time. Because guess what happened? They started protesting what the cops were doing, and people started pulling their cameras out. And the cops began to experience the pressure of the community not approving what was going on. And guess what? None of those cops activated their body cams when they were stealing her property. And I know this to be a fact because I did an open records request for all that body cam footage. And guess what? And I talked to the lieutenant over these officers, and he flat out told me, there's no body cam footage. This is an extreme violation, a policy violation in DPD, okay? This cop has probably so much union protection, he's just gonna get a slap on the wrist. He's right back out there. He was back out there 2 days later, posting all the other campers. So these things continue to fester. So we've got the division between the community and the police. So this is where the rubber meets the road on this being a community issue. Shelley had help out there, and the police came and told her she had no right to survive. We're going to play a little clip of your video, Shelley, and luckily, because I tell you guys, you've got to record. You have got to record. If we don't have video of it, it didn't happen, because those damn cops thought that they were getting away with stealing her property. But Shelley pulled out her tablet and started to record as her home was being towed away. Let's go watch that, okay? You're cutting in and out pretty bad, Joey. Hang tight.
Well, there it goes, guys. My baby. My mom. It's going away.
So yeah, if those things don't first of all make you take pause to what is going on in the United States of America and piss you off, you're not an American. Shelley, I'm trying to unmute you. I want you to maybe unmute yourself there.
I want to ask while you talk about this, Shelley, can you tell me what their better solution was? Can you share with us when they took your home what their fucking better solution was?
They didn't have a plan at that time. If it wasn't for the people around there yelling at the cops, what are you going to do with her? What are you going to, and then they threw me in a hotel, and it seems like they just forgot about me. So I don't know. So they really don't have a plan.
They had no plan. Let me tell you what their plan is. They take their property and they leave them standing there on the street. We've seen it time and time again. Shelley, I want to keep you muted for just a second. We got a little feedback.
Why do we treat animals better than we do human beings?
Jen, we do. We can raise more money based on feelings for animals than we can for a person's right to just survive. And so, you know, people wonder why I'm so adamant about ripping into these cops when they're doing these things. I dare anyone to come out there and stand there and feel that and watch it and stand there in silence. And this is what takes us into the fight that Joey and I've had multiple times. I didn't get to be there that day. This happened to Shelly. And I feel bad. And I carry a lot of this because this is going on every day, all day long, all over this city, and I can't be everywhere. And thank you to all those people. Did you see that man in the wheelchair out there? He was advocating for her. That disabled man had housing right there in that apartment building. And he came out there and interjected himself right in the middle of that while those cops sat in their cars and let the tow truck company do their work. By the way, that's Mirage Towing. I'm adamant that people hear about private business partnering with government to steal people's homes. And Denver calls on Mirage Towing often. They bring in huge rigs, huge semi-rigs to steal people's homes. And they're going to need a semi-rig to take Joey's home.
Yeah, they had one at in Englewood, though, didn't they?
They did, and we're going to watch that here in a second. And Liz, I want to go to you for just a second because I know this is bugging you. I can see it. You and I have had some conversations here in the last couple weeks as we've got to know each other about the realities of what's really happening out here on the streets. And I know that you haven't seen some of this stuff, and this is why I was telling you, you know, I love that the cops are being decent with you now. Always record your interactions with the police, all of that. But you see why I'm so concerned about you?
I mean, yeah, like I said, this is my first time being homeless in Denver, but fourth time being homeless altogether. I was homeless 3 times in South Houston, and I didn't have a car those times. Slept on bus stops or in grocery store bathrooms for 5 minutes until someone caught me. And here it's definitely different, but it's like the same at the same time. Like, for my personal perspective, it's hard for me to find any sort of community on the streets because I don't trust anybody because there's a lot of like prostitution and addiction and just full-on sketchiness happening here. And back in Houston, there was like a kind of like an etiquette whenever you were homeless. And here I haven't really found if there's any etiquette. It just seems like it's all for all or none for you, and I'm looking out for myself, but I'll take advantage of you for whatever I can, and then you need me, I can't answer my phone, sorry, you know, I don't have anything to offer you, I just can take what you can give me and then, you know, get out of my face type of thing. It freaks me out. Like yesterday I was like at my favorite bar because I go to karaoke, and there was this homeless guy that came after last call and started sketching me out by like going through the trash and like going around seeing if anybody had left anything. And those are all my friends. And like, if anybody left anything, like those are my friends' stuff, not yours. And he wouldn't even introduce himself to me, wouldn't even do anything. He just said like, what's it matter to you? And I said, I don't know, man. Like, you're freaking me out. You're freaking all my friends out. You're freaking the bartenders out. You know, one person here, and apparently you don't have that good of a reputation with her. So, but my friends ended up walking me to my car and escorting me away so that way he could just be whatever. And he was this old guy and looked like that he was on drugs or, I don't know, been through more of a struggle than most. And but at the same time, like,
Maybe did anybody offer to find out what his situation was? Offering
one of
food?
the bartender told me that he was homeless and scaring them. And I was like, okay, well, does anybody know this person? The only person that knew this person was the bartender that was drunk already, you know, not really paying attention to how dangerous things can get whenever you're sober. Just kind of like feeling the vibe, having a good night or whatever. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just really, really sketchy. And I was like, I don't really like this vibe. I don't like this person. I don't know this person. If this person's not harmless, why are you acting like you're harmful? To me, I feel like if you're homeless, you better be doing something to make yourself not homeless. Like, you better be being proactive to get yourself off the street. You better be proactive to go get a job. You don't just stand there with a piece of cardboard on the street saying that you need $1 whenever you're hungry, but you already got SNAP, but yet you're using all your SNAP benefits to go to the store and then using your meat that you get from the store to trade it for pills. And it's like, how healthy do you want to be? Do you care or do you not care? And it's like I can only have sympathy for so many people that don't care about themselves. I can't help the people that don't want to help themselves. Like, I can sit there all day and preach about what I know and what I think that you should do. And until you actually do it, then you're wasting my time. You're wasting my breath. Now you're upsetting me because, like, I care. You don't care about you. So why should I care about you? And then it's just endless.
I'm really appreciating your perspective on this, because this is a little bit different than even what I'm used to. Because, Liz, you're coming from a position where you're still in front of the 8 ball. And this is freaking fantastic news. But you do realize that a lot of people do get behind the 8 ball starting out in positions like you.
Right? But it's like, if you clean yourself up, there's free showers. Well, you can't get a job because you smell bad, go take a free shower.
Hold on.
And you don't smell that
right
bad.
There. Hold on. Where are there free showers?
There's shelters that offer free showers as long as you sign up for the shelter. You go eat at the shelter, and then you speak to the advocate at the shelter, tell them the things that you need, and be like, oh, you need a shower? Well, here, this is where you can go to take a shower.
So I want to jump in if I can, Liz. Can I?
Go for it.
Because I love having this conversation. I love your point of view. I want to connect to something you said earlier, and I'm not going to quote it right, so I apologize. That you said said something to the fact of, like, people get tired because nobody's listening. Like, why do they continue going forward and asking for their needs or what they need if they're not being heard anyways? And so I got an echo. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, so I think that some of these folks, and don't get me wrong, I've been out working on the streets in many areas, including Denver, and you're absolutely right. There are those folks that have just given up, but most folks there's a reason why most folks give up, and it's because they've tried. And when Regan talks about you being ahead of the 8 ball, a lot of, just like I said, connecting to what you said earlier, how many times have these people tried? How many times have they gone to the shelter and been told, sorry, we're full? How many times have they gone to sign up for a shower and been told, sorry, shower list is full today? How many times have they walked? Because again, most of the time that folks don't have cars sometimes, so they walk that 2 miles to be told that the shower list is full, or for some reason the showers are broken down for the day, or whatever it might be. And so the next morning when it's time to go do it, they do it again and they do it again. And sometimes they get a shower, and most of the time they don't. And then they get tired.
Well, if you don't,
because every single time,
if you can't go get a shower, work with what you got. I've pull hopped before, so that way I smell like chlorine over body odor. I've showered in a gas station, so that way I can't smell my pits whenever I'm sitting next to someone at the bus stop.
And I agree. I just know that, like, for instance, I just went and got, a coffee before I came here so that my brain was half functioning. And again, I'm not denying that there aren't places to have those things, because there are. But, I also know that when you're living unhoused, and it's just survival day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. And the grind, the coffee shop that I just went to that is less than, half a mile, walkable distance for most folks, says very plainly, restrooms are only for customers. We see over and over and over again where businesses are locking their restrooms because if you can't spend $1 in our location, then I'm not going to give you the dignity to pee in my toilet. And
That's
so I'm
because
not
people are
saying,
smoking fentanyl in the bathroom.
oh, I agree. I agree that that is some of the reason, by all means. I'm just saying at what point do we draw the line? Because there are some people, what I promise you is that all people have to pee. I have not yet met a
Right.
person
I
who
totally
doesn't have to
understand
pee.
that, but at the same
But not
time, this is America, and self-reliance is key.
to the point
If
where,
you don't have a safety net, you got to be your safety net. I can't just sit here and be like, oh, I can get all the government assistance and they'll just take care of me and wipe my ass for me. That's not how that's going to work in my life. I have schizophrenia. It's not curable. It gets worse as I get older. So
You're
I
right.
got to make sure that while I'm young, I don't have to have someone to wipe my ass when I'm 60. I got everything in track, so that way whenever I get worse and worse, I already have all the care set up, so that way I'm still ahead of the curve. It's just,
and I agree.
you have to sit there and it's like, how badly do you want to live?
Sometimes it gets to the point where people don't want to live.
Right.
How about that? They don't
I've
want to
attempted
die,
suicide.
but they don't want to live.
I unfortunately attempted suicide and it didn't work out. And I've tried a couple times. I'm a self-harm survivor. I haven't self-harmed in over 9 years. You know, it's not like that. It's easy being a person, but
No, of course
it's
not.
like,
And I'm sorry
how
if
badly
that's
do
the
you want to
impression
get
I gave.
better? You know, it's just like everybody that wants to utilize all of the government assistance, make it harder for the people that actually fucking need it. And it's like, you want to sit there and you want to get food stamps, and then you want to complain that you don't get food stamps because your job pays you too much and now they took you off food stamps. Fine. Give food stamps to someone that doesn't have a job then. Well, that's why you're paying taxes, to help someone else. Everyone's so fucking selfish these days, and I'm tired of it, dude. I'm so tired of everyone being like, oh, well, I need this, and this from you. And it's like, okay, well, what can you give me to be able to take that from me? Like, I can sit here all day and fill your cup and fill your cup and fill your cup, but whenever mine's empty, who's going to refill it?
I think
Joey?
that I think that the government has kind of fixed that in our head, and we talk about this a lot, that we use that pie graph, right? We
I
use
think
that pie graph.
There's just a lot of excuses being made whenever you look in the mirror and you don't like who you see, and so you blame somebody else.
And I think it's important that we all, definitely, I am a strong believer that everybody has the ability to do well. I can't identify what their well looks like. I think that everybody has a right to do well and has the ability. That's what I just said. I believe that everybody has the right and the ability. I think what we're talking about is everybody has the ability, and you and I agree on that. But sometimes, in a lot of cases, not everybody's being given the same right to do well. And I
Not
think
everybody
that's
deserves that right to do well. Like,
Really?
okay,
Oh,
yeah,
hold on.
because like
Hold
if
on.
you're gonna sit there and you're gonna go to the government assistance office and be like, hey, I got this job. Hey, I'm trying to make these steps so that way I can get this housing. Hey, I'm on the wait list for Section 8. Hey, I deserve to be housed, right? Everybody deserves to have a house. I agree. Everybody deserves to have food. I agree. Everybody deserves to have running water. I agree. But how much do you deserve as a handout? What do you do whenever you're not at the government office?
So
Right?
there's a
Okay,
difference
you save
between,
money
hold
to,
on. There's a difference between those who can and choose not to. I agree. And there's a difference between those who cannot. Okay? Shelley is in that position. I expect my social safety net in this country, with everyone's tax dollars, to get her into a position where she can live out the rest of her life. And Shelley, we're just keeping it real, right? I mean, we've had these real discussions. So she can live out the rest of her life with some compassion and just human decency and integrity. There is this thing out in society that homelessness doesn't exist. People in struggle don't exist if we don't see them. Okay? So there's a dividing line, Liz, and you're pointing it out very well. But can Shelley do more than she really can right now? Absolutely not. And so she needs this social safety net. And I think you do support that. Joey, I want you to comment on this because I think this goes back to how you and I have had these discussions in the past. I can pretty much do for myself if you leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, I mean, in order to take a bath, what I usually do is I go steal water somewhere. I try to, if I can, get it from, I ask first if I can, but sometimes late at night, we'll go find whatever water spigot still works because most of them have been, capped off or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I can go steal water to take a bath. I mean, that's if you have access to carry the water or whatever. But I mean, I've gotten so I can take a bath with like a gallon of water.
I want you to put some emphasis on stealing water and talking about how you can't go into Circle K. And
you can't use the public bathroom anywhere, even if you are a paying customer. I mean, like they've shut down like just about every public restroom, and you're really lucky if you can find a porta potty, and especially one that actually has toilet paper in it, because people steal the toilet paper. They steal the hand sanitizer to burn because, use it to keep you warm if you have to in a pinch. I mean, I've done it. But yeah, a public restroom, good luck.
In this metro area, especially
Denver.
I
mean, especially downtown, but like even out in the suburbs, it's still getting kind of like that. Anywhere that there's like public transit or like transient people, anywhere, they have that shit on lockdown all the time. You can't and most of the time you can't even like find a place that is out of sight to go, if you have to go in an alley and pee, you can't do that. You'll get in trouble. You'll get like I think it's a sex offense charge if you get caught urinating in public. Is, not a good charge to get. But you can't find anywhere to step in, out of the wind to, take a piss, because there's probably going to be someone sleeping there anyway, or, doing drugs.
So these are great. So these are all those issues we're talking about. Is homelessness a community issue? Yes, it is. So
it's not going to go away.
Thank you.
Just kind of accept it a little bit more than they are. I mean, there's so much open space that we could utilize. It may not be great space, but if we all go camp our campers, in these places and kind of just be left alone, I think we would be a self-regulating neighborhood. I think we would do pretty well, actually.
Did we
Granted,
not do that?
I'm going to say that the neighborhoods around that might not like it too much, because there probably would be some theft and crime and shit, because that's just kind of part of the, way of life, unfortunately. But, there's
that not in
spaces
every?
out there they could use, but they don't.
Is that not in every faction?
Take them all to the tow yard and let them sit there and rot, because they don't do anything with them once they're there.
That's in every faction of society. You can be housed and unhoused, and you still have criminals, drug addicts, all of that. It's the perception, right? Liz, I want to go back, and if you don't mind, I'm going to play our little interaction over at Planet Fitness. Do you mind? So she's talking about free showers. Well, nothing's free, right? So Liz wants to re-up her membership at Planet Fitness. And I've just met her, and I took Jen Camp Mom's advice, and I reached out to Liz because I saw her on the internet, and I said, well, so what can I do to make your day better? Remember that? And she said, I need to take a shower. I need my Planet Fitness membership re-upped, and I just don't have the money right now. I said, I can do that. I said, my nonprofit can do that. So I go meet Liz. We're outside the Planet Fitness. And for those of you that follow me or know anything about my experience with Planet Fitness 2 years ago, I won't step foot in Planet Fitness again. And it took a lot for me to say that my nonprofit dollars could go pay for this. But I did it because it needed to be done for her. Planet Fitness did me bad. They did me really bad. They gave the cops all my personal information after some chick in Planet Fitness claimed that I stole all her property out of her locker. Never happened. And the cops confronted me after Planet Fitness had given them all my information. I was over at the grocery store, and the cops come over and confront me. And Planet Fitness, they're like, oh yeah, sorry, whatever. We'll do that any day. So I won't do business in Planet Fitness. So that's my experience anyway with Planet Fitness. But Liz needs this. So we're chatting, and I love Liz's unique personality. She's got the gauges. She's got the piercings. She's got the punk rock look. I don't care. I'm down with it, right? I love this diversity. I'm a cool mom. So we walk into Planet Fitness, and I got to give you this backstory because when you see this video clip, it's at the end of our interaction with this older woman. We walk in there. Liz is all happy, jovial, and I'm looking at this older woman behind the counter. And the second she saw us walk in the door, she literally did this. She wasn't looking at me. She was looking at Liz. Okay. And I thought to myself, lady, just do your job, right? She doesn't greet us. She doesn't say hi, nothing. Liz tells her what she needs. Liz is polite, right to the point. We're here to do business. I'm here to give you some money. This nice woman is here to re-up my membership. Yeah. What's your phone number? And I'm going, yeah, this isn't feeling good. This isn't feeling good at all. Next thing you know, she's telling Liz she can't come back in that club because she's rude. There's a note in my computer and my manager put it in here and it says you're rude and you're not allowed to come back. So Liz starts kind of questioning her on what this is. And she's like, I don't know. My manager put that note in here and you can't come in here. So Liz and I kind of start talking to each other and I'm like, well, this is customer service for you at Planet Fitness. That old woman had a nervous breakdown. Get the hell out of here. I don't have to stand here and put up with this. She's up at the counter by herself. Next thing you know, here comes this younger employee. So she starts kind of paying attention to what's going on, but she's trying to help another customer. Well, the old woman, goes storming off, says, you help him. I'm not helping him. And she goes off into the office. So this nice young lady helps us and gets us what we need. And then that old hag comes back out of the office. And I thought, not this time, lady. We are going to record your behavior. So here you go. Hold on.
You gonna take a picture? Hello? Make yourself look even crazier. That's cool.
All right, so due today is going to be 2543. And I'll just put credit because we're not going to use the card on file, correct?
You're not letting her back in, are you?
I'm having her pay her dues.
Well, did you read the thing?
Did you read the thing?
Yeah.
Hey, you
spit
can't
on-
touch her.
You
spit
touch
on-
me and the cops are coming.
Oh, good.
I'm telling you right now.
You can't touch her.
Oh, I'm scared of you.
You should be.
I'm scared of you.
You should be.
Why?
Because I'm a 3rd degree black belt and I have
Oh,
more
I'm scared.
self-control than you do.
Oh.
And you should probably go back into the office like you did the first
see
time.
My thing?
I did. That's for the Thornton Club.
Well, just hurry up and get them out of here.
You're really good at running your mouth. Better watch out, your dentures might fall out. You keep running it. Yeah, I got all my teeth. Look at me. I got all my muscles. Look at me. I go to the gym.
Liz,
Yes.
she almost literally
I felt
made sure you couldn't take a shower, so you couldn't keep your job, all over. And I'm going to say it, just the way you looked walking in there. Judgment, community issues, judgment.
Can I just say she didn't really look like she, was really too into her job. She didn't exactly.
She was really
look
bad
like
at
she-
her job.
They're using the facilities either, like as far as staying fit goes.
Right.
And what kind of customer service is that, man? I mean, that's all I gotta say.
The bad kind. She got fired.
The worst.
She got fired.
So can we share a little bit about something similar? I don't have any videos because Mike's not here. He usually does my videos, sorry. So we had something similar.
Shelley, we gotta keep yourself muted. Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, so in a small history on Lawrence, Kansas. I mean, we are KU, so Jayhawks. Okay, so if you're ever thinking about Lawrence, Kansas, we're the Jayhawks. We have a horrible football team, but we've got a wonderful basketball team, right? College basketball team. Anyways, so there is, and I'm just going to name people because that's just what I do. His name's Rick Renfro. He is a business owner in Lawrence, Kansas. He is a Lawrence, Kansas favorite. He owns Johnny's Tavern, which are across Kansas, but the main Johnny's Tavern is in Lawrence, Kansas. Has been there forever and ever and ever. It's pretty much a hell-raising bar, okay, that sells pizza. Anyways, the campsite that we talk about is actually behind the parking lot of Johnny's Tavern. And the reason why it's there is because that's where the city a long time ago, well, back in 2020, they designated that area as the legal place to camp if there's not a shelter bed available for folks. So anyways, Johnny's back in November of last year, they got real upset about the fact that unhoused folks to access this camp had to walk on a public road behind his establishment, between his two different parking lots, public road. He did not want them walking on the public road. And of course, he identified it as, his reasoning was because it was dangerous for them. It wasn't dangerous for them. They've been walking on that damn road forever. But anyways, so he actually shut down his business. He shut down his business and paid his college students, and I love college students, so I'm not mad at them, but pretty much paid them, instead of to work at the bar, to go ahead and stand outside and picket the homeless camp behind his establishment. And you would have thought these people would have lost their, well, they did. They lost their ever-loving fucking mind in Lawrence, Kansas, because Johnny's shut down. Even though there's a Johnny's on the west side too, the main Johnny's shut down. It turned into the biggest ordeal for 2 days. 2 days. We had to deal with that. And what the sad thing is he finally admitted after the fact that he caused this population to be in harm because of his actions. You should have seen what people were saying. Like, hey, Rick, we'll come take care of that camp for you. We'll throw them in the river. We better not see them all. We'll run them over, to the point where he was asking us to open back up for us to change the access from a public road to a different area down the levee, like pretty much down the levee where people would have to roll down the hill to get into the campsite, because he realized that someone was going to hurt one of these unhoused folks if they were walking down the street. So guess what ended up happening? The entrance got changed on city money so that Johnny's could feel safer for the villainization that they caused. So yeah, and again,
Wow.
Mike has a video on that of when that whole ordeal that happened. And what's even best is that when he came in, Rick Renfro, the owner of Johnny's, came in and spoke at public comment, which is great, using his constitutional right to come speak his mind, came in there drunk as a skunk, talking about all the druggies that he was worried about and all the addicts that he was worried about. And then after gave his public comment, the mayor actually stopped everything to have a full-blown conversation with him on what can be done to make him feel safer, because she was really worried and wanted to make sure that community members in Lawrence felt safe, totally dismissing the fact that the unhoused are community members as well.
Yeah,
So-
just as long as the homeless community is targeted, is harassed, bullied, is homelessness a community issue? Is this our response to it? Really? This is our response? We have this going on all the time in Denver too, right, Joey? All the time.
Yeah, we live in industrial areas where the air pollution is so freaking bad that, I mean, you can tell, like, I think the air here is just more toxic than anyone will recognize. But, and then there's the water. But yeah, we live in like the shittiest parts of town. And
Because you're trying not to be in anybody's business.
we're just trying to be out of sight and out of everyone's way, you know. And I mean, these people like come to work at like, 8 or 9 in the morning, and they leave at 3 or 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and the streets are empty.
Home.
There's nobody there. And so, if you happen to come in, at night, which if you have a camper, you have to, most people, I think, like us, travel at night because we don't want to be seen. And, we don't want to cause any, traffic accidents or what the hell ever it is that they say, we're disrupting everything. So we come in at night and, the next morning there's like all these like businesses like freaking out because, oh my God, this camp popped up overnight. Well, okay, so where were we supposed to go? I mean, there's, like I said, there's lots of open spaces, but nobody wants to,
So it still remains a community issue. So we still want to have these conversations about safe parking. Well, we can't have safe parking anywhere in Denver because we'd have all these barriers to get into safe parking.
Yeah, you have to have a legal vehicle to park on one of those things. Okay, so part of the problem is nobody can afford to be legal. I mean, we're lucky to even have a vehicle at all. And, like my RV is, big and it used to be really nice, but honestly, if it was a house, it would be condemned. But I mean, there's no place to put it that is okay for like, I mean, I think the ordinance is like, what, you can't even park anywhere for more than 24 hours anywhere.
So we're changing the laws. We're changing the laws to target the homeless because homelessness is a community issue. So we create laws to target the homeless so the rest of the community gets what they want.
And it's not going to go away. They need to figure out that, I don't know, there needs to be some place. And can I just get my little jab in about DIA?
That's our airport, Denver International Airport.
DIA is a gigantic tent. Okay.
For those of you that don't know, it's special architecture. It's
a gigantic freaking tent. Now they don't want to have people camping in tents, but our airport, our international airport, is a giant tent.
On thousands and thousands of open space, not just the airport itself, thousands of acres of empty space around DIA. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And living under an airport is probably not the most pleasant place in the world because it's probably noisy. You got the freeways and the airplanes, but nobody's out there.
Be willing to do it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they have a few sanctioned camps and everything, but it's not even a drop in the bucket.
So Joey, while we're on this topic though, you and I were talking earlier and you said that you see both sides of this issue when we were talking about playing this video of Englewood trying to steal your camper. So what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, like in a way I kind of look at myself as a homeowner too, because I have a motor home. And I can understand that when people start bringing stuff and leaving it around my RV, like all of a sudden I have like a bunch of trash around my RV and stuff, that's when I get the most attention from the authorities. And so I keep my shit picked up. I try not to have anything touching the ground around my RV except for my damn tires. It's not always, like that, but I do my best and I try to keep it clean and I try to, go around the neighborhood in my area. And like when I get parked somewhere, I go around the whole block and pick up all the trash and throw it away just to get like, some brownie points with the neighboring businesses or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's good to keep it clean. And some people are even like, oh, that's really awesome that you're doing that. And but other people are just some people just can't pick up after themselves. I don't know. I think that if we had like dumpsters and porta potties, which I have noticed a few of those around town are kind of like starting to pop up around camps and stuff. But I think it would help a lot to have that kind of stuff. It's a lot cheaper than having a sweep and like having to displace everybody once every couple days.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
we've got a new mayor.
Yeah,
we've got a new mayor that's vowed to end the sweeps. However, we just had a sweep.
I see a bunch of RVs moving around all the time, like down like on the river where I'm, staying at right now. I think like Nicole and Phoenix were down there for like I think at least a couple of weeks before they had to move. But then I saw like down across the street there was like a a whole slew of like RVs. I was like, oh, they must have had another RV sweep like recently, because these people were all like trying to fix their vehicles and stuff like that, you know, and on the
They're
fly.
just
And,
taking them. No, they're just taking them. Is
yeah.
what they're doing. Shelley's
And-
story. We've got several more stories of that. But so, but I want to hear from you, because it's a community issue. How do you think businesses, community members should respond to your presence out there on the streets? Since government says you can't be here, you have to move, so you move. You do everything you're told. You're always compliant. What is more of a working relationship for your ability to survive?
Yeah, I really don't know what people should do. I mean, what they should do is like learn to live with each other, you know, like, you know, just because someone lives in their camper doesn't mean they're any less of a person than you at all. You don't know their situation. You don't know what they've been through. The last thing you need to do is call the cops on them. I mean, I understand, like, okay, yeah, some homeless people can be scary and hard to approach.
Why?
Maybe you shouldn't approach
Why?
them.
Stop. Why? Why are
Probably
some
because they've had
homeless
bad
people
experiences
scary?
with people that, you know, want to come at them and with, you know, whatever mental delusionment that they have. But still, it would be nice if someone could just come and talk, you know, like say, hey, you know, you're in our way, or, you know, maybe like, you know, like, could you move up a few feet or something, or could you, you know, pick up your mess, or I don't know, like maybe people don't want to, they just don't want to deal with it. And you were saying something about how they treat animals better than they treat homeless. Well, they euthanize animals, and trust me, they would euthanize us if they could too, just so that we're out of the way. They don't have to look at us anymore. They just want us to go away, but we're not really able to do that. So we need to figure out a way so we can all coexist. And what exactly the solution to that is, I haven't figured it out yet. I'm working on it, but you know, it might take me a little while. Because
Can I share a little bit? Because I actually want to hear from Jen. So first I want to circle back that like Jen is like the first one to tell me that I am like make excuses for everyone. Okay. I'm a social worker. It's what I do. Okay. So will you talk maybe a little bit about like what Joey touched on as far as the importance of the unhoused to keep their area clean, to be a part of the community as well. If they want to be a part of the community, they need to be an active, positive aspect of the community as well. And then will you maybe touch on you and John's relationship? I know it's gotten a little crappy at times, but will you talk about how you and John work together as a business owner and as an unhoused person?
Okay,
Come on.
I don't know. To me, it doesn't matter where you live, whether it's in a house or outside. I mean, outside, it's harder to keep your area clean because, let's face it, you don't have walls that contain your mess. But so I'm constantly on everybody out there to try to pick up their area and to keep it clean. And believe me,
Save the planet.
Yes, exactly. But as far as John goes, he's
Tell him who John is.
John. That's why he's good. John is the property owner that owns the property basically around my spot where I'm camped at, across the street from the sanctioned camp. And I've been a major thorn in his side as well as him and mine, because we've fought over these property lines and where they are. And he's constantly trying to, I don't know what he's trying to do. He keeps saying he's going to do things with the property back there, but he never does. And it's gone as far as arguing over my spot because I wanted to be under a tree. So I had some kind of protection from the sun, from the rain, whatever. And he constantly argues with me about it. It's just ended up being a fight, but it goes back and forth. There's times when it's an argument. Then there's other times when he comes out and he brings us like cardboard to start fires with and brings us water and different things. It's just, there can be compromises made as long as they're willing to make them.
So an example, and I just wanted to share, is that one time John put out on Facebook, like our local Facebook, you know, that community Facebook, that some people were camping on his property, right? Private property. And I will tell you, like Jen's on that Facebook page. And the moment that she finds out that someone is harassing, like harassing even John, like if she's like, you're okay, she'll go and talk to him. She'll be like, listen, guys, like this is the area. Let me educate you. This is the area that you can camp on, you know, but like we want to work together with our neighbors. And so please don't camp on his property. And she'll be the first one to jump out there and be like, let me go out there, John. Let me go out there. Let me talk to people. Let me try to get them to move so that you're not having to call the police. And they have a partnership. It's so funny to watch them because John will be like, sure, go take care of it. And now he knows that as much as they fight, he has a trusted ally with Jen, and Jen knows that she can go out there and talk to them and work with them instead of getting the police called. So that, it's
sorry,
not
I was just gonna say a little bit of diplomacy goes a long ways, man.
That's it. It's not perfect, but that is how business leaders and the like unhoused can work together when they can show mutual respect. And at no time, Roland, I'm just going to say that at no time does John come out and say, oh, you smell, or you stink, or you've got a mental health problem, or anything like that. They actually comes out with decency. And then that's how that works better, just because what you're doing right now is not helpful. Sorry, had to throw that in. So I don't know where Regan went. There she is. I was going to say, you know, Roland brought up a good comment in the thing. He's kind of going all over the place in the comments, but he said something.
Okay.
And this is, I want people to like, I want to talk about this because this, like my brain cannot wrap around this concept. So maybe I'm just not smart. So I need smarter people to help me. Right. He put in there, he said that cities are tired of people, of unhoused people being bused to their location, having to put up with out of towners coming to their city and having to deal with that problem, right? But then in the same breath, he said, let's go ahead and take our unhoused folks and put them on a bus. Confuses the hell out of me when people say that, like, hey, we're so mad because unhoused people from out of town have come to Lawrence and now we're having to take care of them. But in the same sentence, they're like, let's take the unhoused of Lawrence and bus them to somebody else's community and make it their problem. Like, is that like an oxymoron to me, or is my brain not wrapping that? And why does that even work?
Hold on 1 second here. We're going to do a housekeeping issue.
Okay.
This right here, dude, if you want to have some intelligent conversation in here, this isn't going to go on. So, not sure why the mods didn't catch that. But
He has a lot of people blocked. A lot of people can't see what he's saying.
The mods can. So hold on. We're gonna go through this. Every time you comment, this stream gets a little dumber. Okay. So this is a zero tolerance. Bye-bye. There will be no intelligent conversation coming from there. Okay, yeah. So what's going on here? Yeah, Lawrence Accountability, we're gonna have to shut down your stream if we can't get a mod over there, because that's where that's coming from. So you don't have a mod on your channel. This is something that we agreed to not let happen. So if we can't get a mod on Lawrence Accountability, we're going to shut down that stream because I have zero tolerance on that.
Yeah,
Liz?
I think he's still out on a live. I'm gonna try to make contact with him.
Yeah, I was worried because I'm thinking he probably got arrested, but
I
he
did
said he's on
too.
his-
Yeah, but no, he's still on a live out there at the site. So
just
I
contradicted
So
apologize.
Clinton's
himself.
in here. Clinton, you're gonna have to mod on Lawrence Accountability channel, please. Yeah, Michael, we can't have this happening. Sorry. So, okay, Jen, I am sorry to have interrupted you. Is that
No,
is
you're
that
good.
the
And so
plane you were on with his comments and the?
So that's one thing. And so I'm going to say thank you, Roland, even though you're a douche. I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to say thank you for bringing up treading us into our next point of conversation. And that is this idea of, this idea that security got me because I'm talking too passionately in the library, guys. Sorry. This idea.
Are you in a private room?
I'm in a private room. He's a young kid. He probably doesn't recognize me. I'll deal with him later. It's fine. But anyways, the point is that we constantly hear this idea of our solution to homelessness is to pack people up and bus them to another location, right? And I'm going to sound really sarcastic and like a dumbass right now, but I'm just going to do it. Like, does anybody know where this like imaginary, like, I don't know, Wizard of Oz or something places that we can ship the unhoused to so we don't have to see them anymore and they can just live in luxury? Because what people don't understand that every single time we move someone because we don't want to deal with them in our community, we are uprooting them from their community. And ultimately, we're sending them to another community who is probably struggling to try to find appropriate solutions to try to take on some more. And so, again, Lawrence is really bad about like, oh, we are the only people with the shelter. We're the only this, we're the only that. Everybody sends their homeless to us, which I understand can lead to overcapacity. But then in the same sentence, they want their solution is just to send it to another community. So I've never quite understood that whole logic. So I thought maybe somebody else on the call could explain to me why we ship homeless to other places.
Joey.
Wasn't there like an issue? I know there was an issue recently, like a bunch of people migrating upward from Venezuela into Mexico and Texas, and maybe that's why it was so crazy, right, Liz? Because like, I mean, it's a war zone down there right now, from what I understand, and not a very pleasant place to be. But yeah, what they were doing was they were shipping everybody up into the United States. And how many people did we have here? I think over 10,000 people migrated here to Denver from Mexico or Venezuela or wherever they came from, and so we just kept shipping them out too.
When COVID hit, I was still in Houston, and I was in like South Houston. So all of the people from Mexico were coming up into Texas to try to get refuge from everything of all of the war that was going on in Mexico. Plus, we're having COVID, and then it was just an entire huge shit show. Just like we ran out of toilet paper, and then Houston went underwater.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like in like the last 6 months, it's been like a major influx of.
The last 6 months, what I've been seeing in Denver is the cops are pretty much killing the homeless, throwing away all of our stuff, acting like that it doesn't matter, turning a blind eye to crime because they're too busy with something else. You can't even get through to an officer in this town without waiting, I don't know, like 10 minutes before the operator even answers, because you have to go through like the whole menu, and they have to figure out like how intense it actually is by listening to your rings before they're even answering. And then like the other day, I saw this guy who was drinking in public and like littering, and he tried to step up on me like a big man. So I started recording. And then whenever I was on the phone with the officer, she told me to go find somewhere safer to sit. So as soon as I turned around and I was about 50 feet from him, and he got his drunk ass in his truck and drove away. And I didn't get his license plate because I didn't know what car he was in. And the lady told me to go sit somewhere far away so I could read that far away.
And they'll catch him later after he crashes into somebody.
After he kills someone, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna just pipe in. I had a question up there. I posted a question from somebody in the chat. What was it? Do any of you that want to help the unhoused take them into your trailer? The answer, yes. So what else you want to know? And then this one, Razor. Did anyone see news about Mayor from Anchorage, Alaska? Jen wants to comment on this. Michael, has a story for us.
Oh, did he post the story? Okay,
Not yet.
So I wanted to comment on this, and I wanted to be clear. Like, if there is an individual who is living unhoused in a location and they want to move somewhere else on their, and they access resources, wherever that resources may be, from a family member, from a human service agency, like I am totally okay with that, right? There's freedom for movement, right? I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is when cities force people to move to other locations. And when I say force, I even mean like denying them accesses to basic need resources as a way to force them out into another location. And so we saw like there was the mayor of Anchorage. This is, you know, research based because it's all out there. But he literally, his way of solving homelessness in Anchorage, Alaska right now is instead of building affordable housing, is to offer plane tickets, one way, not two way, not round trip, one way plane tickets to Los Angeles, California for anyone who is unhoused to go to California and be homeless there. I don't think anybody on this call or in this chat has to like go educate themselves on how difficult the issue is right now in Los Angeles, California. But that's his resolution. And of course, he did this in a dignified way because he said, oh, it's not because we're trying to get rid of the unhoused. It's because we care about them and we don't want them to be cold. We don't want them to be cold and freeze to death. And on another side note, and again, this is if you want to get really expanded, you have to recognize that there's a disproportionality in homelessness across all of our like sisters and brothers of color and of different ethnicity. And so the folks that this mayor is primarily talking about is going to be Alaskan Native Americans that he is wanting to push out into California from their homeland. And trust me, I am damn well sure that most of these people know how to survive the cold because they grew up there. Maybe they don't know how to survive the cold outside because instead of shipping them somewhere else to become someone else's concern, why don't you just fucking take care of your community?
Is homelessness a community issue?
There you go. So this is happening.
Yep, it is really happening. My nonprofit, if there is somebody here in Denver that wants to go back home or wants to relocate with family, we will gladly get you a bus ticket to go do that. Except I have to talk to that family member or that person at the receiving end that's going to be there to meet you for me putting you on a bus. And I have done that. I've done that 4 times for individuals. And most of them, well, actually all of them, are back with family or closer to family. And I've spoken with family members. It's a win-win. So relationship building, right? So as a community, you could be just this person like me. You could start a nonprofit and you could walk out on the street and meet people like Joey, Shelly, Liz, many, many others and say, hey, I'm so-and-so. Nice to meet you. I just kind of want to know how I could make your day better. Can we get to know each other? What's going on here? What are your circumstances? And if they tell you to fuck off, move along. Go find somebody else. Really, I mean, so it's about respecting boundaries as well. You know, Joey, you said homeless people are scary. Well, so you better learn to read situations. Addiction is real, right? So
I said they can be scary, not necessarily that they are, but some people are. Not all of them, not by a long shot, but just to clarify.
Yeah, thank you very much. And so, so I'm going to circle back around to the community issue, and we're going to watch this video that's on my YouTube channel. Many of you have seen it, some of you haven't, but I'm going to play it for you. But Joey, before I do, this is in Englewood. You know what video it is. You talked about, you know, just talk to someone. Just go out and say, hey, what's up? Here's my issue. Could you help out in this way, shape, or form? Did any of that happen before this went down this day?
Hell no. People are just so quick to call the cops because it's so much more convenient for them to dial up on their phones and be like, oh, can you get rid of this problem for me? And so the cops are more than happy to do that because that's, you know, what they're inclined to do.
They love it. They love
no
this.
one came to talk to me ever.
Okay, you're cutting in and out a little bit. I'm gonna. So we're gonna jump into this one, and again, you're gonna hear a lot of passion from Regan because when Regan goes out there and she sees that someone is about to lose their home, she is going to reciprocate and use her constitutional rights and be as vile as she possibly can from the mouth to get the point across that what you're doing
While
to these
staying
people,
legal.
yeah, well, while staying legal, is exceptionally vile. So I make no apologies for the way I advocate. So if you don't like it, don't
I
watch.
love it.
Hang tight.
Should I shoot?
Your home
to come in.
and your property without a warrant?
Tried a couple times.
Hold on.
Eating healthier doesn't need a total pantry overhaul. It just needs 2 scoops of cassava.
You're fucked. Dude, you are fucked. Is your body cam activated?
See that red light?
No, I don't see a fucking red light, tard. That's why I'm asking. What about yours? Piggy? So now you don't want to do this tow, huh? Ain't got a warrant.
We got you on video destroying property, cutting this lock off her vehicle. Her way to secure her vehicle, and you destroyed
He's gonna
it.
fucking give it back to her. Destroyed. Leave. How about you leave? We'll direct you on the fuck out of here. Leave. And if you fucking come back at 8 o'clock, you better have that fucking warrant. You better have it with a judge's signature on it from Arapahoe County. You better fucking have it. And if you ever do this again, you better fucking have it. Because you're on the fucking radar, buddy. We are in Englewood, and apparently they're gonna tow Joey's home. Apparently Englewood wants to get stupid too. We are at Lehigh and Calumet. Here's an idea, leave her alone. Who are you?
Sergeant Cousineau,
What are you doing?
I'm doing my job.
What's your job today?
Tow this vehicle.
Towing this vehicle. Why?
It's in violation of city ordinance.
City ordinance. What, to survive? What does your city ordinance say?
What is your?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, well, if you're not
We want to
involved in
know
this
what you're
directly,
doing.
I don't need to answer your question.
You don't need to answer my questions. You don't answer to the public
Why was
about
the
what
lock
you're
cut
doing
off?
to the homeless? Huh, Sergeant from Englewood?
Why was the
Huh?
lock cut off the door?
They cut the lock off the door?
Look, it is right there on the ground. Why was the lock
What
cut off?
authority do you have to do that?
You didn't have the warrant.
You have a warrant? You got a warrant? Do you have a warrant?
But you cut the lock off. This woman trying to survive home.
Jesus Christ. You guys are f***ing idiots. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Answer your questions over here.
You here to back up that fat ass? Is that what you're doing?
You can stand over here if you're going to record me, that's fine, but don't get
Well,
me
I'm standing right here on the public sidewalk.
Okay, we're trying to deal with this one.
I don't give a f***.
Okay.
The public wants to know what you're doing.
What did he tell you?
Doesn't matter. I want to hear it from you.
What did he tell you?
I want to hear it from you. You got a warrant?
He's already explained all
You
this.
got a warrant? No, he didn't explain it.
Lawsuit where you violated your civil rights.
Go fucking find something to do. You fucking worthless pig. Oink, oink. Fat f***er. Holy shit. Really? Really? You're worried about what somebody else is doing? Have you looked in the fucking mirror lately? Huh?
Plus some of these assholes out smoking blues in the park.
And you're here to tow. Dick's Towing. Herb from Dick's Towing. You know what you're about to do? You get paid to do that?
You gotta do is be legal.
What's that?
All you gotta do is be legal like everybody
All you
else.
gotta do is be illegal?
I got my plates on my car, don't get towed.
Oh, so
because you subscribe to the system of bending over and taking it up the ass, this person has to too? Because you do it? So otherwise you take their home?
I ain't got to worry about mine being in the tow yard. I know that.
Herb? Well, there goes the All Health Network. What fucking cop rides this? The fat one? You got a warrant? You got a warrant? Look at this fat fuck. Worried about what somebody else is doing. You got a warrant? Huh? What are you rolling your window down for? You can't hear? You got a warrant? Huh? So Dick and Herb have to bring in a bigger dick truck. They're here to pick you up. What the fuck you doing, Englewood? Huh? What are you doing? You don't have a warrant to make entrance. Don't do it. You fucking ass clowns. Are you?
This is a metabolism killer. This is a metabolism killer. And even
There's a couple hundred people watching this live right now. It's subjective? What's subjective? My opinion is subjective, but you start running your mouth about what you think this vehicle is going to do.
I could think what
You're a fucking hypocrite, dude. You're a hypocrite.
First Amendment. Right?
Yeah, and I'm telling you, you're a fucking hypocrite.
Ever dropped the bike?
Dumped it.
No.
No.
Has those bikes been dumped?
No, but you do. That's why I'm asking.
Well, use your eyes.
Use my eyes. I use my eyes and my ears. And you're a fucking tyrant. Get the fuck out of here. Don't come back. And stay the fuck away. How's that? Go catch a child rapist, you fucking pig. You want more? You want more?
Done, or you still got more?
I got plenty. You want to sit here all day? Since you're on the taxpayer dime and listen to me tell you what a fucking scumbag you are? Is that what you want to do?
Keep going.
Keep going? See? Right here. This is the Englewood fucking arrogance, these motherfuckers. None of my fucking business.
Idiot. Go fuck yourself.
Dumbass? I'm a dumbass? You don't give a shit. Let's find out what business this is. What business you guys got going on here? Who am I? Well, who are you? Let's exchange names. Yeah, that's cool. All right, right on. We just want to make sure you're not harassing her.
Oh, I don't harass.
All right.
I'm just like you guys out just watching, see what's going on.
All right, cool.
You know?
We respect that. Businesses get pretty
I don't even know what's going on. Like I said, I work here, so.
All right.
I'm just looking and seeing what the hell's up.
All right, that's cool. Thank you. It seems as though as Dick's towing, Herb in particular, really likes his job. Out here oinking it up with some pigs. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. If you're not hurting anybody and government wants to use force on you, I have a problem with that. Her door was locked and they tried to make entry by yanking on the door 3 times. I'm done negotiating. It's time to sue. If they're going to tell these people they don't have a right to survive, well, we're going to start having conversations about your qualified immunity. That fucking cop should be fired just because of how fucking fat he is. You want to talk about being a liability? Who's fucking worried about this parked right here and not that fat fucking cop coming out here and having a goddamn stroke and costing taxpayers millions of dollars to keep him on fucking life support with taxpayer funded fucking health insurance?
Okay.
That was great.
Ultimately,
I love your fire. I love your attitude. I love that you just tell them what's up and you don't care what they're going to do. Because that was wrong. That was completely illegal. They needed to be told what was up. I'm so glad
Thanks,
that you have
Liz.
such a strong voice.
Thank you, Liz. I really appreciate that, because that's one little instance. There are tons of more stories just like this. And luckily, we saved Joey's RV that day.
Quite. And yeah, I'm
Joey, you're cutting out super bad. I don't think you have a good connection right now. You're going to want to log off and probably try to come back in, or
okay.
You know,
mess with your
humanity's not
Wi-Fi a
dead.
little bit.
A nice gentleman just bought me lunch at the grocery store. So humanity's not dead.
Somebody just bought you lunch?
Yeah, look, I got hot lunch now.
How did that go down?
You know, this gentleman right across from me at the cafe of Starbucks listened to what we're doing and just asked me if I wanted food.
Wow.
Is that community helping taking care of the issue? Just saying.
Thank you.
Score.
Wait a minute. And nobody, like, that didn't require him to have to take you home and house you and do all that stuff that everybody wants to point out, that the only way you can help is just to take them home and let people live with you. If you want to do that, love you for it. But guess what? We as a community can help folks. And I say this over and over again, by just seeing them and asking them, what are we supposed to ask them? What can I do to make your day better? That's it. And I think that I wanted to point this out too. Like, hurrah, yay. For what else can community do? Oh, he's going to say hi to us. What else can community do? Community, you don't have to be as mouthy as Regan, by all means. You don't even have to say the words that she says. But like with Shelly's situation, stand up for people. When you see something is wrong, stand up. Say something. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Treat them with dignity. And we've said it over and over again, pull out your fucking phone. Because it's amazing how quickly people's attitudes change when they're being recorded. So again, we don't have to take everybody that's unhoused home with us. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. If you don't have the money to buy someone lunch that day, that's okay. A smile is free. But if you see injustice, whether it's a housed person, an unhoused person, whatever it may be, pick up your damn phone and record it, please. That's what community can do.
Amen. Jen, thank you very, very much. How I advocate is my own thing. And let's put Joey back in here. Can you hear us, Joey?
Yes.
Do you get disgusted with how I advocate for you?
Absolutely not. I love it, and I play your videos all the time for my friends so that they can see that there's someone out there who cares.
Joey,
yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you guys. You guys can't see this because of the light, but we're in the library, right? And this is a glass. This right here, there's a window behind it. So this is a glass wall, right? And so security has come by a couple times and told me, but I actually have a group of unhoused people sitting, I know them all, and they all just tapped on the glass to say, yes, thank you. And so when security looks at me, you heard me, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But when they see me, I'm telling them I love them, that I see them. And that what's more important, they see us. They see when people take the time. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, Joey. I just wanted to say you got a fan club out here that are loving on you right now.
Oh, right on, man. I got to say that I am a huge fan of yours and like people like you and Regan, because there's not enough of you in the world to keep to keep us safe. I mean, not everyone has a voice, like that they can use, that they're confident or whatever the case may be. Maybe they don't want to go because they're in trouble and they don't want to speak up. But whatever, thank you just for doing what you do, because we need you.
And you know where I stand always for all of you out here. I think you have a right to survive. We've had honest conversations out here before, and I right, Joey? Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, you don't have to be an asshole. Like I said, a little bit of diplomacy will go a long, long ways. And I mean, I can't do it the way you do it, and you can't do it, like, I guess, the way I do it. Not that I do it enough, but when I do speak, to the cops or whatever, I try to just kind of keep it copacetic, but
I try
definitely
to
like the way
until
you
they
do it.
screw up. Well, they screw up. And what was going on right there was a straight up Fourth Amendment violation of your right to be secure in your property. Those assholes cut that lock off of her wheel so they could get it up on that tow truck. They tried to make entrance. They pulled on her door hard enough and busted her whole lock that kept her safe inside her home. And they were
asked
going
him
to
if
take
he had
it.
a warrant, and he said, "I don't need one." And I said,
But
"Yeah,
never
you do."
told you why. But never told you why he didn't need one, did he?
Dude, everyone knows that you have to have a warrant to go into someone's house.
Or steal it.
Or whatever. You can't just walk up in someone's house without a warrant. Everyone, I thought, knew that. Apparently, he didn't know that. I don't know.
Well, they're doing it.
I
They're
know.
doing it,
And
and
people
they're
are letting
getting
them. You have to
away
know
with
your
it.
rights.
Exactly. People, they're getting away with it. They did it to Shelly. Shelly,
Yeah.
Poor Shelly. Tell
If
us.
you ever have that situation again, don't come out of your RV. Don't come out. They can't make you come out. Even when they were there to tow me the first time and they had a warrant to come in and make sure that my RV was suitable for transport, they still didn't say anything about taking me out of it, and I wasn't going to come out. I told them I was packing my stuff, and I called Regan. But I just sat there and stalled out. So don't leave your vehicle if you get another one, or anyone. Tell them
your
that.
rights. Yeah, you're
They
exactly
need to know
right.
that. That's the big thing right there. Don't step out. They can't take it from you. They can't tow it if there's a person inside of it. Or they're not supposed to anyway.
Shelly, tell us what happened last Thursday when you were in that RV.
Well,
Hold on, you're muted. I'm gonna unmute you. I don't know why we're having so many issues unmuting you. We can't hear you. Try to unmute yourself again. We have a delay because her Wi-Fi is not good there in the motel. Just hit it. There you go. Just hit it. There you go.
okay.
You're good.
They said that if I didn't get out, they'll arrest me and they'll force me out. They'll pull me out. And at that time is when I called my brother and he came. And he sat in the back of me because there was somebody else in front of me. And the cops forced them to move their vehicle so they could tow me. So it was at that point I felt, I was actually being attacked by the cops, basically. Not physically but mentally, and it's like you either do this or you go to jail, or if you don't, I said, how can I go to jail? I said, I didn't do nothing. And, which I did. I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting in my RV. I wasn't doing nothing. I was, and when, but the thing is, they caught me out of my RV. And that's when they, started to tow my RV away.
Were you inside of it
Yeah.
when they showed up?
When, 'When, 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 'When,
Yes, I was.
Were you scared?
And
Were you scared?
yeah,
You were there by yourself, right? You were there by yourself, right?
yes, I was. It wasn't until I called my brother to come and, because he's also homeless, to come and park behind me or come, just to come there because I didn't know what else to do. And he came right away.
I'm sorry I wasn't there.
He dropped
I'm sorry I wasn't there.
He dropped a lot of his because he's a scrapper, and he had a bunch of scrap metal, so he dumped it in front of the RV, and he parked it behind me, so they wouldn't. But yet they told him to either move that or lose it, and that we are taking this RV. It's a public nuisance. Nobody wants it here, but yet I didn't hear anybody from the community complaining about it. There was not one single complaint from nobody in the community. Not even the store behind me. That was,
You actually
So-
had people bringing you food. They were trying to help you with parts. They were trying to help you.
Yes. They were, they brought me water, they brought me food, here, take this. Or they parked in front of me and in back of me to protect me from being towed so I could sleep at night, which I thought was awesome. And then and when the cops, interviewed one person, he says, well, no, I haven't seen her do any drugs. No, I haven't seen her do anything like that. Why are you harassing her? She's just sitting there. She's just trying to live. But yet, it's the cops, trying to make homelessness a crime, basically. They're trying to make it, and they're attacking, not, just, it seems like everywhere I turned or I talked to people on the street, they're attacking women. They're not.
I agree.
They're not
I agree. I see
attacking
the same
so much
thing.
of men, but it's attacking the women.
They're targeting you without a doubt because
So
you are looked at as an easy target. Sorry, I muted you there for a second, Shelley, just to stop the echo. I'm not trying to cut you off. As you can all see, we have women on here today. I have a very serious concern about the women out on the streets. I've got more stories. This is just 3 here today. My channel is loaded. I have people that I've never even put up on my channel. Stories galore of these cops targeting women. It's a little psychotic, you guys, that a bunch of men can go out there. And I mean, we have big, huge ordeals where the fire department shows up and has a warrant to take those campers here in Denver. And all these men just surround, and they catch them off guard. One woman in her camper. And what are you to do? I would tell every single one of you, and take me serious. If I am not there and somebody is not there to help you negotiate, or I'm muting you, Shelley, you must comply because you will get hurt. They're gonna hurt you. And it scares the shit out of me. It really genuinely does, because I know, you all know how many times I've been arrested, and I know what they do to me. Mouthy me, stand up me. I know what they do to me when they arrest me. They will hurt you. You have to comply. There is no property worth it. There's nothing worth. because there are several of you out there that have told me they ain't getting it. I applaud you, and I would probably go down with you if I was right there with you. You know that. But we risk literally being killed by these cops. It's the truth. They're ticking time bombs. They're already not right upstairs to get up, put on a tool belt to go out and target homeless women. Something ain't clicking. You just need to remember that. I'm sorry, I trust no cop. If they want to try to prove that they might be someone I can communicate with as a cop, that's fine. I'll talk to you. But I ain't fucking trusting you. Because they will. Upon orders. So please do not forget that. Liz, we have 10 minutes. I want to just kind of start winding it down. Liz, what else do you want to share with us? Okay.
I just think that people need to be nicer, man. Just because I'm out on the street doesn't mean that I'm like a criminal. Just because I look like a criminal doesn't mean that I am a criminal. Just because I am an asshole doesn't mean I'll be an asshole to you. You know, you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. If you're mean to me, I'm going to come at you sideways. If you come at me sideways, I'm going to come at you upside down. You know, I'm a really good person at matching energy, and I really hate disrespect. And I, just like every single one of these women that are on this panel, we all deserve respect. And like, if you're entitled to your respect because you're in a position of an authority zone, or you just seem like you're better than me, or you got more money than I do, you know, that's entitlement, man. And I don't respect you just because you want me to. Like, I always get like old women acting like that they know me before they know me, and then they treat me like I don't belong, like the lady at Planet Fitness. Like, I'm used to treatment like that, but at the same time, I don't appreciate it, and I don't allow it, and I don't just let you just say whatever you want, and I'm just going to bite my tongue every time. Like, I'm an antagonist. I know that. I put myself in dangerous positions because I don't let you just talk
I
to me.
don't think you're an antagonist. I don't necessarily like the way you label yourself, because I don't
That's just
see
how
that
I've
in
been
you.
labeled.
Well, you're not being labeled here. And Liz, I think you carry yourself very well. And I
Thank
want
you.
you to know that. And I'm proud of you as a young person who is at the age to be my child. I would be proud to have a child like you. And I worry about you. And you and I have talked about it this week. Stop confronting people, girlfriend, out there. I'm telling you, it's
not that I
ugly. It's
confront
nasty
them.
here.
I defend my friends, man. I
Not
defend my
confront.
friends.
I get it. Yeah, I
They're
used
calling
the
you an
wrong word.
antagonist because they're trying to antagonize you.
Yeah, and then they punch me in
She's
the
a
face.
good soul. Yeah,
I can tell.
Yeah, but she's good soul. She's good people. So Liz, thank you for being here. As
Thanks for
I look
having me.
forward to us, to continuing to work together and get you in an even better situation. She wants to leave Colorado. She's not felt welcomed here. The state has been not good for her mental health. It's just not a good fit for her, but she needs support, and I want to be that for her. So thank you, Liz, for letting me be in your life.
Of course. Thanks for.
Joey, in closing. Oops, you unmute yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Sorry.
No worries. In closing, what was the question?
Well, really no question. Is there anything else you want to say? On the topic of homelessness being a community issue, we've met good community, but most of the time, I don't know, it's my opinion that it's rotten as hell out there. People are mean. We're dealing with more ugliness than we should be.
Yeah, the fentanyl shit is really getting out of line, and it's made it like really difficult for every single homeless person, and regardless if they do fentanyl, which I can't stand that shit, and I don't think it's going to go away, but yeah, it's caused some major problems. Aside from that, you just have to take every day as it comes and like kind of, you know, use your best judgment, be the best person you can, try to help people when, you know, they really like they need it and they're not trying to just take advantage of you. People that are entitled suck. And everybody needs help, and you have to be really careful who you help, because they if they don't want to help themselves, if they just want to if they think that they can go beg $1 off somebody, anytime they get hungry, I'm sure that there's hard times where everybody has to do that once in a while. Everybody has to borrow to get by, but just be careful who you borrow from, or who you are.
How about pay it forward when you can, when you borrow?
Pay it forward when you can. Absolutely. I have had so much help from people, I can never possibly repay it all, but I do try, and
you've been very good to me.
I appreciate all the people that have helped me. Yeah,
Joy's been a good friend, and we've had a lot of great conversations. And again, she's another person that I want to thank for letting me in her life, and I look forward to continuing to know her. I got scared to death because I hadn't heard from her for months.
Sorry.
The good news was she was doing great, and that's okay. But don't worry me. Don't build my kidney stones any bigger. Please.
I'm so sorry. I will not ever do that again. I just, yeah. I love you, though.
Thank
you for, worrying, because not too many people do. And I worry about you, too.
I'm
glad
good.
You're still around. Stay
I'm
out
alive.
of jail.
See you next time. Thanks,
all right,
Shelley.
for sure.
Shelley, one last push on anything. I'm here for you. I'm going to continue to be here for you. And we're going to continue to work on making sure you're not homeless in Aurora. Thank you, Denver PD.
Yeah, that's. I thank you for that. It's just, hearing from you and hearing, gives me a sense of relief a lot of times. So I appreciate that.
Glad to do it, Shelley, and I'm here. Don't walk out of that motel.
No, sometimes I want to.
Jen and Jen.
But I haven't.
I don't know. I just want to say that, it is a scary place out there. Just be good to yourself and try to be safe out there.
And my last thing, first of all, be safe. Boundaries are important, right? Pay it forward. Paying it forward doesn't mean you give me $1, I have to give you $1. Sometimes paying it forward is just a smile and letting someone you see them and you appreciate them. Third thing, I'm going to say this. Liz, you a badass. You a badass. And so I'm going to tell you to be careful with your badass self, but at the same time, keep standing up for yourself, because it is these assholes out here that want to make you feel weak, that want to think that make you think you don't have rights. Empower yourself in a safe way, learn your rights. And for all the community members that are out, also, Jen invited you out to Lawrence. It's a shithole here, Liz, but if you want to come, you're definitely welcome. You got friends here. But for everybody else that's out there, what can you do? Is homelessness a community issue? Yes. Can community help resolve? Yes. The first step you do is stand up for each other, love each other. Sometimes folks are not doing for themselves because they've been told over and over again that they're not worth it, or that they can't, or they're afraid to do for themselves because they know what the repercussion is. Recognize what your privilege is, and I say this every day of the week. Use your privilege to not take over somebody's life or be their savior. Use your privilege to open the fucking door and let them walk through and lead. That's all I got for you this week.
Thank you, guys.